Hello, my name is Robbie. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Magda.
And can you tell me where you're from?
Yes, I'm from Poland, from Krakow.
Okay, and can I see your identification, please?
Of course.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Now in this first part, I'd like to ask some questions about yourself. So to begin with, can you tell me about a park near where you live?
The park where I live is called Planty, and it's quite large, and it surrounds the Krakow center.
Okay.
And it's beautiful during spring season.
Okay. Why do you think people like visiting parks?
I think it's relaxing, especially if you live in a fast-pacing environment. You can relax. You can spend some time with your family or with your pets.
Do you think dogs should be banned from public parks?
I don't think so, as if you live in an apartment like me, it's difficult to give the space and the needed large area for your dog.
Okay. Right, I'd like to talk a little bit about newspapers. Do you read newspapers?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why?
I like to be informed about what's happening around the world, and not just in my area, in my community, but also around different cities and countries.
Okay. Why do you think people like to read newspapers?
I think they like to see what may happen to them, what's happening in the area they're interested in, for example, economy or business, if you're trying to invest in something.
Okay. Would you prefer to read a national or a local newspaper?
I prefer to read national, as it probably contains more information, and it has more information about the overall view, and it probably has a holistic view of what's happening in the country.
Okay. Do you think the internet will ever completely replace paper newspapers?
I think in large cities and in very busy environments, I think it will replace, as it's becoming more and more popular to just look at your phone to read the news rather than buy an actual newspaper.
Okay. Right, I'd now like to talk about pets. So, do you have a pet or know of anyone who has a pet?
Yes, I have 2 pets.
Okay, what are they?
I have 2 cats.
2 cats, okay. What animal do you think makes the best pet?
I think it depends on the owner. As I know a lot of people who would not stand living with a cat because they really like dogs, and they prefer animals that need more care and need more time to spend with them, while some people don't have the time and they prefer pets that can take care of themselves.
Okay. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of owning a pet?
I think responsibility, and you're not just thinking about yourself, but you need to think of 2. It's like having a child, I guess. So it's quite a trivial example, but it does require you to take some more time and think about someone else.
And the disadvantages? Or is that a disadvantage?
That's a disadvantage,
Okay.
but on the other hand, it can teach you to be more responsible. But as an advantage, you do gain maybe another organism that's close to you, and it might not make you feel alone.
Okay. Do you think a pet is a good idea in a house with children?
Well, if the children do not have any allergies, I think it's a great idea, because not only they can play with those animals, but they can also substitute the time with the animals for playing computer games or watching TV.
Right. Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So here's your topic, and there's some paper and some pens. Please start preparing. Okay. Ready? Now you only have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you in the middle. please start talking.
So the person I'm going to talk about today, whom I admire, is my mom.
Okay.
And she, of course, lives with me. And I think I admire her because of her day-to-day activities. So now that I started my vacations, I get to spend with her almost every day. And I can see how much sacrifices she has to make. And that 2/3 of her day involve arguing with people and fighting for what she believes is right. And she needs to be stubborn all the time and not allow people to get to her. And I really admire the fact that she can hide her weaknesses when she needs to, but she's also the kindest and most sensitive person I know, and I just like how she balances these two qualities every day. And I think what I admire about her the most is that at the end of the day, she's always the most simple and modest person I know, and she never requires much in her life.
Okay. So you're working with her at the moment, then?
Yes.
Okay. How's that?
It's difficult because I see her as someone who I want to become one day, and right now I'm not doing the most interesting things that I want to, but I'm learning a lot from her, and I think that's something that no other internship would give me.
Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you some questions related to this topic. So to begin with, I'd like to ask some questions about the elderly. What are some of the dangers of retiring too early?
If we consider today, the life expectancy is much bigger, and if people retire too early, they might not realize that maybe a lot of these years that they could spend working, they will not do anything, and instead they might just consume themselves in frugal lifestyle and actually not do anything meaningful. And moreover, if more people retire early and they'll still live for a significant period of time, that might increase taxation in countries.
Okay. What problems are created in society by an increasingly elderly population?
So following what I have said before, it's the taxes that arise for the working class, and that definitely will cause problems and conflicts for the government. And I think that more retiring people would also decrease the labor opportunities and impact significantly the labor market.
Okay. Do you feel people should be responsible for the elderly in their own family?
I think so, because no, I think there should be a balance between government taking action by giving pensions, but also families who are obligated to help their families due to sentimental reasons. And I think that would also encourage people to start their own families earlier.
Okay. What problems do elderly people face today that they didn't face previously?
Because of the increased age expectancy, people face more diseases, such as cancer, and with the ongoing and worsening pollution, I think people are struggling, especially elderly people, and also the technology that is rapidly progressing and developing might not be as clear to elderly people as it is to the youngsters.
Okay.
And I think that's a very significant issue.
Okay. Right, I'd like to move on to talk about pensions and health. Do you think pensions should be provided by governments?
I think they should be, because in the case if a person does not have any family members who are willing to provide them with certain help and support, government should initiate a certain support system.
Okay. And do you think pensions should be taxed?
I think so, because right now, if I'm paying taxes for the pensions, I might feel that it's unfair. However, once I reach the age where I will be retiring, this will certainly come back to me.
Okay. And what changes to the healthcare situation for the elderly do you think will happen over the next 50 years?
I think the retirement age will be increased, and perhaps there will be more choices given to people, whether they are willing to pay for the pensions in form of taxes. And people, I think the taxation will be made more just for everyone, and especially for companies.
Okay. And what sort of things should elderly people do to give them a good quality of life?
I think they should maintain a healthy lifestyle, because a lot of people, after they retire, they face psychological and physiological problems, and I think this healthy balance will allow them to have the least problems in both of these areas.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much, Magda.
Thank
That's
you.
the end of the test.